All right, welcome back. First live show for the BCAMPodcast.
Yes, indeed. First live show.
Here we go. It's a glorious Monday night. A little chilly, a little frisky outside, but we're making it work.
Yes, indeed, we are.
Yeah, we are. All right, well, we don't have a jam-packed show. It's actually barely packed at all. It's just going to be short, maybe about 20 minutes, and then we'll hit the sack for the night.
Yeah, exactly. But we're gonna hit a lot through the 20 minutes. We're gonna hit the new BCAMPoll, which I got behind me. We're gonna talk about the picks from last week, which we didn't put on air, but we made them anyways and tracked them for y'all. And then gonna talk about some bowls, some
Bowls?
Nebraskas.
Yep.
That's probably about it. So, what do you wanna start with, Austin?
I think we just kind of give it like a general reaction to the weekend. You know, it was a fun one for sure. South Carolina, Texas A&M. That was crazy, right?
That was insane.
That was insane. Checking our audio for us. You sound
Dude,
good?
The audio is so good.
Awesome. Glad to hear it. Okay. Yeah, that was crazy. I did not see Texas A&M winning that game after halftime. I saw a Texas A&M tweet at halftime that they said there's still a second half.
Wow.
Second half to be played. That's going to go down in history. But man, dude, 30-3, and you lost. And you lost.
30-3.
All they needed to do was kick a field goal in the second half, and they probably would have won that football game.
That's true. Very true.
South Carolina Cox.
But
Just sad.
they choked, and Texas A&M.
Shane Beamer is now 6-2 in November against ranked teams. So letting down Cockvember a little bit. As we know, Cockvember not existent. But
letting down the whole Cox season.
yeah. No bowl game for the Gamecocks.
No bowl game indeed.
Then there was Ole Miss almost losing to Florida. That was crazy. Florida was literally playing for the next head coach, trying to get their next head coach, making Ole Miss lose so they can hopefully get, Lane Kiffin. But couldn't do it.
But then if you, as a Florida fan, if your team can beat Lane Kiffin with an interim head coach, why would you want Lane Kiffin? If he's going to lose to interim head coaches.
It's the players, not the interim head coach.
Right. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled it out anyways.
Yep.
Was there a bad PI call on that, or was it completely clean?
There was a horrendous PI. I don't even know what was going on. It was Florida's last drive of the game. Throw a ball out to, I don't know, maybe it was Aiden Mazzell. I can't remember. Throw a ball out to a wide receiver. And, do we have a little football? All right, my fist is the football. It's going to Brady. Oh, he's got a football. He's dropping the football.
This is live, folks.
All right.
If this wasn't live, we'd cut this.
Ball's coming into Brady. Ball's like right here. And I just hit him like that, but with my helmet. So I right into him.
And the ref goes.
And the ball goes. Goodbye.
The ref goes, throws the flag.
And I'm like, that's PI. He hit him like a whole second early. Just very PI. And the refs are like, hey, so the SEC paid us to have Ole Miss in the playoff.
And you can't throw that flag.
So you can't do that, man. And the ref,
pick it up.
My bad. So he picks up the flag, and they say, there was no pass interference on the play. We are retarded zebras. That,
game over.
We don't know if Florida would have gone down the field and scored points, but that's bad. That was bad. That's like, it's like what are you doing? So maybe they think it was a 50-50 ball. It's not a 50-50 ball. It's whatever.
Yeah.
So it was another close game in the SEC. Big Ten kind of just USC almost got stumped by Iowa. Physical team that is Iowa. USC got the players, made the plays. Iowa football. Mike Wazowski did not make the plays when it mattered most.
Very true. He did not make those plays.
You can catch your
eye. Talk about Bama.
Oh my goodness!
Bama. Oklahoma beating Bama.
Kalen DeBoer, did he wear the hoodie? Did he wear the?
He wore the hoodie.
Oh,
yep. He wore the black hoodie of death. Well, the 3 turnovers is what's going wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they and their net success rate. They actually based on the statistics, they should have beat Oklahoma.
Yep.
And John Mateer only threw for 138 yards, and he only ran for 23.
Mm-hmm.
And but 3 turnovers will do that to you. And when you're playing against a good team, when you're playing against a bad team, you can turn over the ball 5 times in Wrigley Field against Northwestern, like Michigan did.
Yeah.
And then make a last-second field goal to win.
Yep.
And, still.
Oklahoma's defense. So, like, Ohio State and Oklahoma clearly have the top 2 defenses in the nation right now.
Yeah.
Oklahoma's defense is mean. They are out there to hurt you, to kill you, and get that ball back, unlike any other defense in the country right now. And you cannot have – if you're playing Oklahoma this season and you have multiple turnovers, you better hope that John Mateer also has a bunch of turnovers because your team likely ain't going to win that game against Oklahoma. They have a scary – that Boomer Sooner defense all over them. And so I think that Ryan Williams has had some ball control troubles all year long. I know he's had some catching troubles. He clearly had ball control troubles in that game. So Alabama, they had the potential to be the number 1 team in the country on any given week, but I think they're also prone to having some slip-ups and mistakes. I think there's just a grit level that's not exactly there, and Oklahoma right now does have that grit.
Yeah, very true. Let's get into our picks.
All right.
So, we didn't have a show on Thursday, and so I just made picks by myself. Didn't have time to I think I made them 30 minutes before the game started.
Okay.
Didn't have time to consult Austin. So if I consulted Austin, we would have done better.
Maybe.
Probably.
Allegedly.
We'll see. But this is where we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
So we went 5-5 this week, and we would have lost $17.83 if we would have bet these games $10 each on the just straight up who's going to win. And so overall, we are up though.
We are up by what, 7?
$9.97.
Oh, okay.
So
that's a 6 right there. I can't read.
Yeah, so we're 24-16 overall. We'll finish out the year strong, but not terrible.
We got 2 weeks left. We're not going to pick the Iron Bowl coming up. That's in Jordan-Hare Stadium at night, just for all you folks to know. And playoff implications are on the line. So if you want to bet on a team to win that game, bet the voodoo magic of Jordan-Hare Stadium. Don't even bet on the team. Just bet on Jordan-Hare Stadium.
Interesting.
It's going to be a good game.
So the games we got right this past week, we got Notre Dame over Pitt. Everybody saw that coming.
Would have picked that.
We had USC over Iowa.
Yep.
We had Georgia over Texas.
Would have picked that.
Jacksonville State over Kennesaw State.
Yep.
BYU over TCU.
Yep.
So those are the 5 we got right.
Ooh, you picked BYU State to win.
And then the 5 we got wrong.
You picked Bama to win. That one's reasonable.
Picked Bama over Oklahoma. Don't feel bad about that pick. Picked Cincy over Arizona. Arizona won 30-24.
Yeah.
Good win by Arizona.
Cincy, what are we doing here?
It was at home. I don't.
Why didn't you play that bad against Iowa State? What are we doing?
Yeah, come on now.
All these teams are always just trying to ruin our dreams, Brady.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And we keep trying to ruin Virginia's dreams by picking against them.
Yeah.
So I picked Duke for the chaos scenario, and that didn't happen.
That was an emotional pick. I would have picked it too for the chaos.
Yep. And then I picked Memphis over East Carolina, and East Carolina won kind of a stunner, and they got the home upset. Pretty sure they rushed the field afterwards.
Memphis sold their playoff slot.
Yeah, they're as
maybe
good as out of it.
Maybe the Pirates stole it. They are the Pirates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Potentially. Though I think they only have 1 loss in the American, so they could get in. But we'll see.
Yeah.
They're not ranked in the B camp, but they could be soon.
Is Arch Manning, is he unearned his last name again? Oh, for all you fine folks, don't let your children listen to this part. Arch Manning is not able to have kids anymore. He got punched in the balls so hard on a strip fumble. He's in the pocket, going to pass, ball gets knocked out. There's ball number 1. Ball 2 and 3, fist, just like that. Oh, it's brutal. Go look it up online.
Or don't if you.
Or the face.
Painful.
He went
right away.
He was already like, they got more than my arm. Yeah.
And they said Georgia couldn't rush the passer.
He got up pretty fast after that. Who said Georgia couldn't rush the passer?
Everybody. They proved them wrong, though.
I never said that because I didn't really have a take on that.
Yeah.
But I did have a take. Arch Manning, not his year. Maybe next year.
Maybe
He's got
next year.
potential.
Yeah.
He is a Manning.
And then that final game we got wrong was Boise State losing to San Diego State. I don't know. San Diego State's good,
They
but
miss Ashton.
it was raining hard in that game.
Oh.
I watched the first half of it before I went to bed. But it was raining hard, and they didn't have Ashton Jones to run the ball.
That's tough.
Big tough. So those are the games. Biggest games were with playoff implications were Texas losing to Georgia big, and then Oklahoma beating Alabama.
Yep.
And we will see how that impacts stuff in the B camp.
Ole Miss, it would have lost to Florida. That would have
been big. If Texas A&M would have lost,
wouldn't have been as big. Would have affected the SEC title more.
very true.
Texas A&M, got to beat Texas, and you're in it.
I think they're a lock right now, undefeated.
So?
They have Samford this week, I think.
Yeah.
For their SEC half bye week.
Don't sleep on Samford.
I'm sleeping. I'm snoring.
They're snoring through Samford.
Yeah.
But they can't. You gotta find a little bit of a show for your fans, for the playoff committee. They're not gonna drop you that much if you don't like pizzazz against Samford. But most of all, don't get hurt.
Yeah, it is literally the SEC. Don't get hurt. Don't get hurt game. They're gonna go to 9 games, and these will hopefully be gone. End of year tune-ups.
Yeah. I hate that the SEC does this. It's prime season, end of the season. Some teams are playing for bowl eligibility. Some teams, like Davos, Clemson Tigers, are just playing for the pure grit and love of the game. And some players are playing for a better bowl spot, like Nebraska going to Penn State. Going to be a tough game.
And Alabama's playing Eastern Illinois.
And Alabama's playing Eastern Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
It's
FCS.
just like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we? That's supposed to be like when you're tailgating, having a fun time, eating burgers in August. Like, oh man, can't wait to watch Crimson Tide play Eastern, North, South, Mississippi, Chattanooga State.
Directional Florida.
Have another margarita. Roll Tide. Gonna be a fun one today. No, you're like prepping for Thanksgiving. Maybe you're getting ready for finals.
Yeah.
It's cold outside for some people. Maybe you're a frat boy looking for a reason to get drunk. Don't do that. Eastern Illinois. What are we doing?
Eastern Illinois.
Samford.
Orlando.
I fly into there. Anyway.
Nice.
Big Ten's just tougher conference because
Yeah.
they play tougher games later in the year.
And these tune-up games are forcing College Game Day to go to Oregon for the second time this season. But
Josh Pate's going.
He is going. He follows the biggest games. But Game Day supposedly in their writing says they follow the biggest game, the biggest story. They try to follow the biggest story.
They did go to Texas Tech. Give them props for that.
Yeah.
They went to
there's a lot of people. Yeah, they went to Pittsburgh, and the biggest story that week was the Battle of the Ravine.
Yeah.
D2, the Reddies versus the I don't remember their mascot, but Wichita Baptist in Arkadelphia. Dude, it is huge. Their stadiums are separated by 600 yards.
Oh, I heard about that. That's pretty dope.
They wanted game day. They didn't get game day.
No.
And then this week, JMU wanted game day, and then Montana versus Montana State wanted game day.
Yeah.
And they just choose to go to Oregon versus USC. It's the biggest game.
For them, they gotta have to think about views too.
Yeah, but I think going to JMU, they have like all ESPN cares about is college football playoff implications. Well, JMU has college football playoff implications. Now they're playing Washington State, which is outside their conference. But
is it at Washington State?
It's at JMU, and JMU had historically has one of the biggest like turnouts for a college game day because college game day used to go to FCS schools, and like smaller schools. And you know what flag flies at every college game day?
Washington State. I think they call it Old Crimson or something like that.
And so it would have been a great story.
Would have been good.
And
what other big games could college game day have gone to this week though?
There's BYU Cincy, but that's not a big game because I think
doesn't really have a big story.
If Cincinnati would have won, it would have been
Would've been
more for Big 12, I think they would have gone.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Let me just check the rest of the slate here. So we've got big games. Oh, they have Missouri at Oklahoma. I thought they might think about that one. They have, and they usually go to
frequent Oklahoma.
They usually go to a game that is on ESPN or ABC.
Yeah,
but this game, Oregon versus USC, is on CBS.
Interesting.
So they are kind of going away from just their media rights things to do that, which I like.
Is Chris Fowler calling the game? Because he works for ESPN. Or sorry,
no,
it's Chris Fowler and who else does
Herb
it?
Street.
Yes, Herb Street and Fowler.
No, they're not. It's CBS. It's CBS's broadcast.
Is it Gary Danielson?
Yeah, I think so. Game day's just there.
Wow.
And then game day will end, and then they'll cut to the other games.
Okay, interesting.
And then Herb Street will fly to the
That's
big
a lot
game.
of flying for Peter, the dog.
Yeah.
Wow. Tough on Peter. He's a good boy.
Other big games, the Washington State at JMU, like I talked about.
That would have been a fun one.
And then it was just a low week for sure. Arkansas, Texas, not a big one. Kentucky at Vanderbilt, they already went to Vanderbilt, and that's not a big one. It is a really tough week. Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. I thought they might look at Pittsburgh at Georgia Tech. That's an ACC title.
Maybe if James Franklin started coaching there this week.
Yeah, I thought.
Which, if you haven't heard, James Franklin's the new head coach for Virginia Tech.
That's true. But yeah, they're going there. Should we get into the B camp real quick?
I'd like to say one more thing. In defense of College Game Day's decision, I know they already went there once this year. It was like Oregon, Indiana, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is an old Pac-12 matchup.
Yeah.
It's a big deal on the West Coast. And for them, this is good for their West Coast viewers. And it is a winner or no playoff game for USC, which to us doesn't matter. But for that team of USC, that does matter a whole lot.
And it's a big it can strengthen Oregon's resume as an at-large.
Yes, it can.
Well, because if they lose, I think they have Washington left, but then they're not going to have the Big Ten title. They're going to be in that 10-2. Are we in? Are we not? Also, I think generally where I'm at is I wish they would have looked ahead and said, okay, maybe we're going to reserve this spot, this SEC bye week, playing Samford spot for this USC Oregon game, and we won't go to Oregon when they play Indiana, because that's what Josh Pate did. He had it circled. He had it figured out. This is where I'm going most likely.
If USC had lost to Nebraska and they were really close to losing to Nebraska.
It's true, but that's why there's Georgia Tech. That's why there's other games.
Yep. Yeah.
So
I wish they would have been that.
I wish they wouldn't have gone to Indiana, Oregon.
But that was a really good game. That was a wow game. That was a Signetti special.
Yeah.
That might be a signature win at Eugene.
Yeah, for Indiana. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think there was probably other national games that week that they could have gone to.
True.
Saved Oregon for this week. I don't know.
I'd rather them go to Eugene, Oregon than another SEC school, though.
I'm good with you on that.
But they've been doing a good job about that this year. Going to less SEC schools.
And speaking of less SEC schools, we have one less SEC school on the top of our BCAMPoll for after week 12. We have changed some things up.
Yep.
We used to have Texas A&M up there. The first half against South Carolina has prompted us to move them down to number 2 and put Ohio State back up at number 1, along with all of the other boring polls out there that are just not as good as ours.
Yep, our poll is the best poll.
So that's 1 and 2, but let's start.
It's a glorious poll.
Let's start at 25. Okay, 25th, we have SMU. That's no change from last week. 24th, we have Virginia. They were not ranked in our poll last week. They are now ranked, and they are 19th in the AP, which is pretty high. They're 9-2, but not very many solid wins, and not very the losses aren't good losses. Illinois at 23, that's up 2 spots. North Texas is up 1 or down 1, just because other teams moved up. They didn't play bad this week. Missouri's up to 21 after being not ranked. They handled Arkansas this week. Correct? Arkansas?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, no Iowa in there.
No Iowa.
Unlike the AP.
Unlike the AP.
Who has 6-4 Iowa
I
over
don't know.
7-3 Nebraska.
They're a good team. They almost beat Indiana. They almost beat USC, but almost only counts for horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yeah.
And this is football.
To put hand grenades in football would be a mess.
It would be a mess.
Or horseshoes.
I don't even know how you'd score that. But Texas is at 20. Speaking of horses.
They're bulls.
Well, yeah, the Longhorns, but like they have horses in Texas, right, McKenna?
They have horses in everywhere. What are you smoking?
Well, yeah, but like, come on. I know what I'm smoking.
Okay.
It's the Cowboys. Come on, you know.
That's Texas Tech. Oh, they're the Red Raiders.
Exactly.
You got the Dallas Cowboys. You distracted by something over here?
Yeah, I'm trying to get us up live. Oh, that's good.
You like that? You like that? All right, keep moving.
All right. Tennessee at 19. That's up 5 spots. JMU's up 5 spots to 18. Michigan's up 1 to 17. Utah stays at 16. USC up 2 to 15. Miami at 14, up 1. Vandy stays at 13. Georgia Tech stays at 12. BYU moves up 3 spots to 11. I think that's more of a correction from what we had last week.
Yeah.
Like it was a bad loss and we moved them down further, but they kind of proved they are still that team, and so we kind of corrected ourselves based on more knowledge. And then Notre Dame is at 10. That's down 1.
Yep.
Oregon is down 1 to number 9. Alabama is down 4 to number 8. The AP has them at 10. And
we're still a little higher on Bama.
But their losses are to Oklahoma and to Florida State at the beginning of the year, and they have wins against they beat Georgia, who's number 4 in the country. Okay, they beat Vandy, who's 13th. They beat Tennessee, who's 19th, and they beat Missouri, who's 21st.
Yep,
those are 4 currently ranked wins.
Yeah,
they're good wins. So,
dude,
the resume is just still there, and so
yeah,
I'll be interested to see what the playoff committee does. But I bet they'll value those wins like we have, moving below Oklahoma, but still above some of the like 2-loss and 1 loss without many good wins.
That Florida State loss feels like it was over a year ago. It feels like it was in a different universe. You know, everything's just so different. Mm-hmm. Florida State nowhere to be found. Alabama looking still really good, except for what happened this weekend.
Yeah. And still looked solid in it, except for the turnovers.
Yeah.
Like I said, Oklahoma's up 4 to number 7. Ole Miss stays at 6. Texas Tech jumped Ole Miss to go to number 5. Ole Miss struggled against Florida. I'm not going to dock them for winning, but I will move Texas Tech above them for just continually dominating. The only loss is a close loss at Arizona State with a backup quarterback.
Yep.
And their backup quarterback's not playing for them anymore.
No.
I think that backup is now out for the season. Baron Morton is playing well.
Yeah. Didn't they play their 3rd string at one point too?
I think so.
Yeah.
At one point.
They have a amazing team and a Heisman candidate at linebacker.
Heisman should be winner.
Your team.
Yeah.
We'll see.
And then we've got Texas Tech at 5. Georgia at 4. That's up 1. Indiana stays at 3. And then, like I said, Texas A&M down to 2. Ohio State up to 1. So that's your B camp for after week 12. We'll put out the graphic on X.
Yep. I got to say, Georgia was one of my favorite watches of the weekend. Not because the game is super exciting, but it's just
I hate that.
Why is that?
It was so terrible to watch.
But it was fun because if you watch into the players, you see that Georgia is super connected as a team.
Okay.
And Gunnar Stockton is the coach's player. He is the team's player. He is that dog, no pun intended, that you want to get behind. And that one white dude, a receiver, scored a touchdown. Can't remember his name. He had a brother who was in a wheelchair, some disability on the sideline, and that just gets to your heart, man. gets to your heart getting to see that, do it for his family, do it for the team.
Good thing.
And Kirby Smart really loves his team way more than the Carson Beck led team.
London Humphreys, number 16, he had a touchdown.
Landon Humphreys receiving touchdown,
or Noah Thomas.
I don't know. It was a white guy.
Noah Thomas is black. London Humphreys is from Nashville. Sounds white to me, but I don't know.
You got a picture of him?
That's what I'm looking. I'll look him up.
Can't remember his name.
If he had his brother in a wheelchair.
Yeah, his brother.
Well, good thing Chad Powers wasn't there.
Oh no, yeah, Chad Powers would have knocked him over. Chad Powers.
Let's see here. Oh yeah, he white.
Yeah.
He white.
Anyway, what's up next?
What's up next?
Bowl projections, right?
Yeah, I think so. Bowl projections. I think we should start a new thing on the show where we just say the best game that we watched this weekend that wasn't Nebraska or Iowa State. So for you just said Texas.
Well, that wasn't the best one I watched. It was just one of my more fun, man, this is like a team that's really got
it doesn't have to be the best, but something special about that.
Yeah, it was special because it felt like it was more than just a good football team.
Yeah.
That I was watching.
Yeah. And I did really like Alabama Oklahoma.
That was a fun game.
That was my game of the week.
Yeah.
I would say. Ole
Miss Florida was a messy game.
Yeah.
South Carolina Texas A&M was your heart attack game.
Yeah, very true.
SEC, I think the Big Ten has a tougher conference overall, but SEC is fun to watch.
Yeah.
They got some wild stuff going on down there.
Tougher as in tougher football being played. Not necessarily tougher to win.
Not tough. Well, it is hard.
You got Purdue, you got Maryland.
Yes.
The style is
just,
tougher.
Yes.
But the top teams will more regularly beat the bottom teams than in the SEC currently.
Yeah. And when you're playing in these warm environments versus the cold environments, the cold environments, they gratify your Michigan doing whatever they did in Wrigley Field being a mess, or Iowa doing what they do every week. And even your Ohio State, they're just pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding and pounding. They're not going crazy with flash. You're just until their opponents give up.
All right, let's get into this bowl projection. I'm not going to give up, so you can keep going. So currently, Nebraska is sitting at 7-3, and so they can either go 7-5, 8-4, 9-3 in the regular season, depending on how they do against Penn State and Iowa. I'm projecting to go 8-4. I think they'll split it 1 win, 1 loss. I can't tell you which one will be a win, which one will be a loss.
Please beat Iowa.
Yeah, if you have to lose to Penn State to beat Iowa, do it. I don't care.
I hate Iowa.
So the way the bowls work is there's different affiliations with different conferences. Yeah. And so the ones that are looking likely, and these are kind of would you say these are kind of like the top 5? They're the top 5 Big Ten bowl games and that aren't college football playoff.
Don't get tripped up thinking that a Big Ten team can play in a historic Pac-12 bowl game, because these Pac-12 teams still have legal ties to Pac-12 bowl games.
So that can take out your USC from some of your conversations when you're talking about which Big Ten team is going to fit in the Music City Bowl.
Yes.
It's not going to be USC. USC is going to go do a Pac-12 bowl game.
Nebraska probably are they eligible for the Holiday Bowl?
I don't see it.
That was an old Big 12 Pac-12 bowl, I think.
I don't think so.
Okay.
So you got 5 bowls, and I'll go from lowest to greatest, and these are kind of the top 5-ish bowl games. Then you've got some other ones. You got the Detroit Bowl. You've got Mayo, but I don't think Big Ten's in the Mayo one this year. And then you've got the Pinstripe Bowl.
Big Ten can go to the Mayo Bowl. Matt Rule does not want to step foot in Charlotte.
So what I read is they alternate the Mayo Bowl with SEC.
Oh, interesting.
So it's Big Big Ten or SEC versus the ACC.
I'm
And
pretty sure Minnesota won it 2 years ago, or was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Okay.
So we wouldn't be in it. So they alternate it with the Las Vegas Bowl.
Okay.
And so the Las Vegas Bowl is in this.
That's right.
So
that'd be a good one to go to, the Roomba Bowl, because their stadium looks like a Roomba.
That's good.
Yeah.
And then, okay, so we'll start from the bottom. So first we have the Rate Bowl. That's RATE Bowl. The Rate Bowl.
Where's
that's
that
in
at?
Arizona. I think State Farm Stadium. That's like the lesser bowl game. Kind of like how in boxing they have like the title fight, and then they have like the undercard.
This is like Fiesta Bowl, then the Rate Bowl.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that is against a Big 12 opponent, and that's could be against. So this would be if we go 7-5.
Yeah.
And another thing that I was going to mention about when bowls select their teams, it kind of starts at the top and it just kind of trickles down. So if you're 7-5, and a bowl game can take you over an 8-4 team. But if you're 7-5, a bowl game cannot take you over a 9-3 team.
No.
So there's a little bit of rules to go with there, just to make sure you are rewarding good teams with good bowls. But Nebraska, if they are 7-5, they will be treated as an 8-4 team.
Very attractive.
If they're 8-4, they would be treated as a 9-3 team, because when you look at our UCLA travel and Maryland and
Kansas City,
like we will go to the neutral sites.
We will go if it's warm.
Even if it's not, they will go.
Even if it's not, but if it's warm, they'll really
all
go.
of these bowl games will be warm. So they have the Rate Bowl. If they go 7-5 and they don't get bumped to an 8-4 slot, they could go to the Rate Bowl against a Big 12 team. If they are 8-4, 7-5, they could go to the Las Vegas Bowl, which would be against a Big 12 team and a step up in the Big 12.
Yeah.
So kind of like your Big 12 teams that kind of maybe like are like 1 to 2 spots out of the conference championship game. So not a BYU, but it could be a Utah, Arizona.
Maybe Utah. Utah could still make it to the playoff,
could
but
still
maybe
make the
not.
playoff.
Utah could go to maybe a better bowl game if they win the last game.
Go to the Pop-Tart Bowl. The
They could do
Pop-Tart
that.
Bowl is above the Las Vegas Bowl for the Big 12.
If Utah is just on the bubble of the playoff, I think the Pop-Tart Bowl is taking them. But Arizona could be a really good matchup for Nebraska. Full confidence Nebraska would put the hammer down on Arizona in that game.
Yeah. And then the last 3 bowls would all be against SEC opponents.
Oh, can we get Jeff Sims versus Nebraska, please?
Oh, Arizona State.
Can we please get Jeff Sims?
That would actually be amazing. They're 7-3 right now as well, so they're playing pretty good. They technically can still make the Big 12 championship game.
Can you imagine Dana Holgerson on the sideline? Matt, you really let this guy start as QB for Nebraska? What are you doing? What are you smoking? And then he pops a Zin in his mouth.
And then Matt goes, yeah, and then I put our backup tight end in over him. So bad. So bad, dude.
The Jeff Sims experience was something I want to forget.
Yeah. Yes. So,
dude, his eyeballs are as big as my glasses. We got to move on from
the bowl game that is on the same level as the Las Vegas Bowl, but we'd be playing an SEC team, would be the Music City Bowl in Nashville. And so that would be could be against a number of teams, but again, an SEC team that's going to end up with about the same record as you. So an 8-4, 9-3, you're looking at potentially an LSU. You're looking at Missouri, Tennessee, Vanderbilt would probably all be. Vanderbilt in Music City would be crazy.
Yes, it would.
Do you want to? Should I go through Reliant, Quest, and Citrus, or you got something?
I think Missouri would be really fun
Yes.
because that's an old.
Yeah.
My phone's tweaking out on me. Okay, Missouri is 7-3 right now, so I don't think they're beating Oklahoma. And
so like 7-4, and then who did they have last week of the season?
The last week of the season, Missouri is playing Arkansas. So Missouri probably can get to 8-4. That would be a fun matchup. Not sure if Ahmad Hardy would play in that game because he's probably going to the NFL. Ahmad Hardy is probably the biggest threat Nebraska would have to face in that game. But this is a rematch of the battle for the victory bell. I don't know if you said that already.
I did not say that.
Battle for the victory bell. a historic Nebraska rivalry dating back decades upon decades. That would be a really fun one.
I would like that one. That would be good.
LSU, who knows if they'll even have a coach by then, but they're a mess.
Yeah.
So that's like, yeah. I mean, it'd be a fun matchup, get a lot of attention, but Nebraska, Missouri, that's one I'd love to see.
Yeah. And then we've got the ReliaQuest Bowl, formerly Outback Steakhouse Bowl in Tampa.
That's what I still call it.
Again, against an SEC school. That'd be if we go 8-4. And if we can go 9-3, we can get to the Cheez-It Citrus Bowl in Orlando.
Yep.
And that would be against basically the top SEC team.
That isn't in the playoff.
Yeah.
One of the top.
Sorry. Yes.
Which, dude, I don't even know who would be in that game because it could be any number of teams.
Yeah, it could be a lot of teams.
Be a lot of different teams.
It's looking like better bowl game options. Even if we lose our last 2 games, we could go to the Rate Bowl in Arizona. We're not going back to the Pinstripe Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Pinstripe Bowl is trying to get like a bunch of the different Big Ten teams there. If Penn State is able to make a bowl game, they will probably end up at the Pinstripe Bowl.
Yeah.
It's close, and they haven't been there in a long time. So there's still a lot to get figured out, but it's most likely going to be one of those 5. It'll most likely be against a Big 12 or SEC opponent, which I think is great. We played against Boston College last year.
Yeah.
So we got the ACC kind of thing, and then we'll see. But
Nebraska could end up playing Alabama in a bowl game.
That's true. If Alabama loses to Auburn,
they
will be 9-3. If Nebraska goes 9-3, they could meet them at the Citrus Bowl.
That scares me. I love you, Nebraska.
I would. I mean, yeah, but like Michigan wasn't very good last year. They crawled up to they crawl 7-5, 8-4.
Yeah,
and then they got in the ReliaQuest. They were 7-5. They got in the ReliaQuest Bowl, which is an 8-4 bowl game, and so they moved up a few spots or over some other teams because they can.
Yeah,
because they're a big brand. They played Alabama and beat them.
It's true. I don't know.
I'm not saying we would. I would pick us to lose that game, but it would be a fun game. I would if we have an opportunity to play Bama. I would love to play Bama.
Emmett Johnson is a man of character and also amazing talent. Knowing that he is the only run game Nebraska has, does he sit out in a bowl game?
It depends on if he's going to the NFL or not, which he very well could, depending on how he does in the last 2 games. He'll get a draft grade, but probably before the bowl game. I wouldn't blame him if he does.
First team All Big Ten, maybe Doak Walker winner,
All-American,
maybe
Heisman candidate, maybe.
If he puts up 200 yards in his last 2 games, 200 against Penn State, 200 against Iowa,
200 each.
200 each.
No, brother.
You don't think that's going to happen?
200. That's crazy.
It's been close.
Yeah, but these are 2 really good run defense. If he puts,
Phil Parker and then whoever the other guy is.
If he puts up 100 rushing yards versus each of them. And then I don't know what he'll do.
I'm talking total yards. I'm talking total yards right now.
Yeah, I don't think he's getting 200 each game.
Okay.
That's a lot. It
could happen.
He got but you're talking 100. You're basically talking 100, 115 rushing, 100 and over 100 receiving, and that's only happened once.
In my mind, that's what we need him to do to win these 2 games.
That's fair. That's
so me being hopeful about winning these 2 games. Okay, 150 total yards in the last 2 games, gets a good draft grade, maybe going probably, in my opinion, 3rd round.
If he gets 150 all-purpose yards against Penn State and against Iowa, he will be in the Heisman candidate conversation.
Maybe
he will be. Now,
does he go to New York?
He will win. He will win the Doak Walker. He will be an All-American
and the Maxwell.
And if he has all of those, then he will be in the Heisman conversation because if he can scale it against good opponents, and then if he scores touchdowns in those games, then he will get to New York.
Yeah.
So it's yet to be seen. We'll see what happens. He's not Ashton Genty.
No.
But the running back class this year, nationally, is just kind of it's they don't have an Ashton Genty.
No,
so
Ahmad Hardy's really good. Jeremiah Love's really, really good.
Yeah, there's Jeremiah Love, but he's leading Jeremiah Love in a lot of categories.
Yeah,
because he has to.
And Jeremiah Love splits.
Yeah,
reps.
that's what I'm saying.
Emmett Johnson doesn't split reps, but that gives props to Emmett Johnson for literally carrying the team on his back.
Yeah, and it's not like he has the offensive line that Notre Dame has to run by. And his offensive line's good, but it's not getting the crazy push that Notre Dame can have.
Here's my thing. I don't think Emmett Johnson, in any given day of the year, would want to sit out of a bowl game. But it might come down to a thing where they're like, hey, bud, we don't want to see you get hurt right before you go to the NFL. We think that for your best interests, we'll either limit snaps. That's I don't think he'll let himself not play in that game. So he might get limited snaps. But I don't care where they're going.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson's probably playing in the bowl game, probably getting at least 12 snaps. At least
12 carries.
But that's just me, my opinion. I'm not Emmett Johnson. I'm not on the basketball team.
You're not his agent. You're not his family.
But you watch the way he talks, the way he conducts himself. Emmett Johnson is he loves
money.
He loves Nebraska. He loves that team. In my opinion, he's kind of like the sole leader of that team right now. I don't know how it is on the inside of the program, but you can see it on the field. With Dylan Raiola off the field, I think that offense is looking to him as that grit leadership.
And they're all following him and bringing that like from themselves as well. But they're following his lead to do that.
He's saying, hey, Dylan's out right now. He's still our team leader, but I'm elevating my play. Who's with me? So you got to carry that to Penn State this weekend because that's going to be tough. They have an amazing defense. They are really tough. Are we going to be able to run the ball down their throat?
Probably not. But if you have some quarterback run, might open it up a little bit. You're going to need Lafitte on his feet.
Yeah. Does Dan Keene, Isaiah, and Ja'Cory Barney say, hey, we're getting this kid another 200-something passing yards today? But we're not just getting good passing yards. We're throttling that ball into the end zone.
Remains to be seen.
We'll see.
Night game in Penn State. All right.
Nebraska, the night game at Penn State.
So that they can have a short week when they play at 11 a.m. against Iowa on Friday.
I'm Tony Batiti. I hate Nebraska.
All right.
Choking the corn cob.
It's a great episode. We'll probably not have another one this week. I'm going to be out of town, but I'll put the B Camp up on the socials. I will. Maybe we can do some shorts.
Yeah,
some quick shorts. We'll do some quick shorts at the back end of this week, middle to back end of this week, and then we'll put the picks up. I'll put a graphic of the picks. I'll put them on the X, and and then we'll have a good Saturday college football. And we'll be back.
We'll each put our own take on the James Franklin hire to Virginia Tech out for a YouTube short.
I like that.
We'll each give our independent takes because we're on two different sides of this right now.
That's true, and we do not have time to talk about it right now.
No,
because we could go
on for another hour. We're already,
and we haven't even talked about Lane Kiffin's family being in Gainesville and Baton Rouge. All right, that's a great episode.
We said this would be a 20-minute show, and we're 43 minutes in,
jam-packed. All right, thanks for listening to another B Camp podcast.
Go Big Red.
Roll Clones.